Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sound of a Gap and this is Horizon Zero Dawn. Welcome back to a new episode, and in this one we will start off by reading a bit about the history of Sunfall before continuing with the main mission by going back to Sunfall and its grand balcony, where we will explore the ancient ruins beneath the citadel to hopefully uncover the truth of Project Zero Dawn. This mission is actually very long, guys, because there's just so much to see, read and hear, and we will even have to fight some people in there. So this will just be part 1 of uncovering Project Zero Dawn. And if you're new and want to help me reach 1000 subs, hit the subscribe button. It's for free and helps me out a lot. So guys, please enjoy.
What you need, leave the rest.
Aided the defectors. Deep Secrets of the Earth, go to the grand balcony. I think this is, yeah, the next main mission, right? See? Looks all fine. There's still something up here. Ah! I think I haven't been here before, have I? Let's take a look at this. History of Sunfall. Alright guys, this might take some time, because it looks quite long. So, let's get started. The history of Sunfall. After the vanishing of the Radiant Irif and his cohort in the west, the Radiant Bassadid ordered a mighty fortress built at the Sundom's farthest reach. His luminance chose to build atop ancient ruins, reasoning the ancients must have seized upon the location for its strategic value. Of the ancients, their works of too smooth grey stone and strangely carved metal were collapsed or built over, and the catacombs sealed off. Only the stone ring, perhaps used for some unknowable ritual, was left in place to serve the garrison as a training ground. Yeah, that's what it looks like, to be honest, yeah. Even though its builders and soldiers lived in fear of the land where the sun goes at night, the finished walls of the fortress were mighty and unshakable. His luminance and his high priest, the irrefutable Pashaman, named it Sunfall under the blazing eye of the sun, and by the light it was good. None doubted the radiant Bassadid's prudence, nor denied his lingering hope that his brother might one day be sighted again, but no great threat would come from the west in his lifetime. Nor did it come for the next 3 generations, though records show the men of Sunfall fought many bandits and scourgers skulking in the Rustwash, and a dangerous stampede of behemoth in the Long Burn. In time, Sunfall slipped from common memory until the 6th year of the 11th Sun King's reign, when the radiant Mazid himself came to inspect it. In the desert heat, his luminance received a vision of an ornate citadel, with a dome of metal so polished it would greet the dawn and catch the rays of the sun's last shining at dusk. At once, he ordered the dedication of the Sundom's resources to building the structure. After its construction, his luminance took the citadel as his summer palace, bringing with him many members of the Sun Court, nobles and artisans. In time, Sunfall became a city unto itself and the source of great works, such as Passion of the Tallneck among the dunes, turning seasons at Bronze Flash, and Lament for Cinnabar Sands. The stone training ring was repurposed for shows of pageantry, where young blazons or the Hunter's Lodge Hawks could display the sun's dominance over the machines. Sunfall's prominence in the culture of the Sundom continued for many years, until the Sun King Mazid's untimely demise in the citadel he so treasured. For his procession back to the Elite, a line of torches was laid all the way across the Daybrink, so that over the days and nights of his bearing he might always go in light. The departed king's brother, the radiant Hivas, was occupied wholly with renewing the soldiery of the Sundom, and with the old Sun King's passing, so too passed this chapter in Sunfall's history. In the early years of the 13th Sun King's Jiran's reign, before the falling of his shadow, a particularly harsh season came upon the Sand Whisper Valley. Upon hearing that the storms could strip the very detailing of armor, he decreed that the strongest among his guard should be trained in the desert here and named Castrals. Indeed, Helis, who would become the most infamous of the Castrals, there's Helis, was one of the first to survive his reforging by sun and sand here. In the 15th year of Sun King Duran's reign, when the sacrifices in the Sun Ring were judged insufficient to calm the derangement of the machines, he proceeded over the blooding of the ring at Sunfall. A trapped behemoth was driven with spears and spurred over slaves of the Ossuram and Utaru. When the beast turned upon the Kestrels, the Sun King stood and declared that the sun, in its great generosity, would accept the sacrifice of faithless and faithful alike. So began a fearful era for Sunfall, of sacrifices unending in its sun ring, and the citadel whispered of as a place where no light shone. Many upstanding citizens of the Sundom were taken inside its doors to disappear as surely as if they had journeyed to the Forbidden West. Oh, this time Forbidden is written with a small letter, not a capital letter. F. But okay. In the last days of Sun King Duran's reign, I want to say between the dot behind West and in, there is one space too much. Maybe. Looks like it. In the last days of Sun King Duran's reign, Sunfall was in the charge of his Kestrels and High Priest, no longer answering to the Sundom as a whole. It was no surprise, then, that following the liberation of Meridian, Duran's loyalists sought refuge at Sunfall. As a fortress, it was impregnable, but cut off from the boundless lands across the Dayrink. It was a city impoverished. So stood the stalemate in the first year of the 14th Sun King, the Radiant of Art, the one who is Sun King right now. And so stood Sunfall. Once built to protect the Sundom from the shadow of the West, it now sheltered a worse shadow, the false Karja who dwelt within. Alright, actually, I don't even know if I... Have I ever... Yeah, I have been here, of course. Bright Market, yes, we have been here. Alrighty. So then there's nothing else to do, but then I just somehow... Oopala. I just somehow
I've got all the
forgot about...
It won't do it all.
What was it? Where was it? Yeah, about the text we just read. Over there, somewhere. Yeah, somehow I forgot about that when I was here last time. So, now we're going all the way back to Sunfall, to the Grand Balcony. And there we will explore the ancient ruins beneath the citadel and unravel the unbelievable truth of Project Zero Dawn. That sounds very nice. So, let's do that. I will see you guys at Sunfall and at this Grand Balcony.
This is insane.
Every time I glance
Hardly.
over the citadel,
They're
I
going to
remember
see
that
me.
Edamon's gone.
You underestimate the balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
Ah, we're going this way. Okay. Aloy, jump, don't fall down. Good. I have a feeling we're gonna fight in just a bit in this arena.
The other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
Girl, could you just drop down? I'm holding down. What the fuck? So. Yeah, we're gonna go up there, but I'm just gonna take a look if there's anything else here. No. Alright then, let's examine
I've
this.
been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return.
Oh, I thought so.
Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
True. Yeah, true. I should be prepared. I'm fairly certain. We're just gonna get started and see how it goes.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure, as year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila.
She's gonna get in, right?
All the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan.
The second time? Does it say again 99 point something percent?
Genetic profile
Yeah,
confirmed.
99.47.
Entry authorized. Malfunction. Malfunction. Malfunction.
Uh-oh.
Malfunction.
Kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
This looks like a download.
Emergency venting authorized.
I think this is not good. I have a feeling there's a fight coming right away.
I underestimated you. So by now,
Uh-oh.
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We
yeah.
won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Please don't show me a timer. No timer. Nice. Explore the Project Zero Dawn facility. Nice, nice. We made it inside. And for now, it looks like there won't be fights coming. So let's just explore.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Stop
Zero Dawn.
surprising me every time.
We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Yeah. Okay. Those are like banners? Uh-huh. But projected banners? Alright, let's get started with the first bit of information. Another incident. From lounge staff to admin, subject another incident.
This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that the Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we are tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators, fluent in Polish, for example.
Why Polish? I don't know why. We are in America, right?
Security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond.
Alright, I'm gonna guess those Polish people were there for some experiments, maybe? And this is why they were screaming and hurling chairs and vases at reception staff? Or they were, like, slaves, and they wanted to get out. Let's see if we can find out more about that. But so far this has nothing to do with Project Zero Dawn, at least not in my eyes, because I thought it's just to do with machines, but... Polish people? We need support too. Again, from reception staff to admin. Subject, we need support too.
Reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates when they arrive at the facility.
ZD. ZD stands for Zero Dawn.
Many are frightened or confused, some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The long bots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails?
Alright, now I think that those Polish people were used as bait. That they wanted to test different ideas, let's say it like that, on the machines to figure out which one is the definite one to kill them. And yeah, and maybe they need people to see if they will really die or if they would still attack. That's what it sounds like to me, at least. So far. Alright, let's move on. But there has to be a fight coming, right? Because Silence said you have to be prepared. There's no turning back.
Take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Yeah, this is like the waiting room, of course. The first was the reception, the first room, and this is the waiting room. So different ways. We have to go that way, so we're gonna take a look at that in just a bit. Alright, so one more data point. Restock or else. From launch staff to admin. Restock or else.
For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage varietals, I am going to lose it. Please respond, and this time, no tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes, okay?
There were desks, people were sitting here. And... or maybe this, the first one was just... yeah, that's the launch, yeah. The first one is the... I don't know. The greeting room. That's the launch where they are waiting to be processed. I want to say it like that. Soundproofing? From launch staff to admin. Soundproofing?
Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the launch area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the launch. Just a thought.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like...
Please proceed into viewing room 1
Viewing
for an
room.
important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
Oh yeah, now we're gonna find out. Let's see if I was right. With bait and test subjects.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Harris.
I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program.
Oh.
And it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century.
Whatever that
At
means.
best, we've got 16 months.
Oh my god.
Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
I have to say, her face does look a bit like Aloy.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
Oh yeah, because that was very bleak. That information. Not great whatsoever. Oh.
Kestrels.
Wait.
They got in.
Wait,
through
wait,
the
wait.
vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? A tomb?
Okay. Alright, there are people. The thing is, I can't mark them. That's just weird. Ah, now I can. I have to stay inside of the room. So let me just tag those. And then we're gonna get to work and kill them all. It's just 3? Really? So far, it's just 3. Alright, then let's get started. And just because this guy is alone, I should start on the right. Oh, I forgot I had 3 arrows notched. Alright, and there are a lot of data points, but first let's just kill them all. And then we'll take a look at those.
That hurt!
He did not realize what just happened.
Good. We're too close to let tribal primitives stop us now. The data points, what do they contain?
We'll see. We'll see. Let me just loot the last guy. And then we're gonna start... Actually, let's just start right here. And there's a lot. So this will take some time. Skip it if you don't want to hear it, but I'm gonna take a look at all of it. So, interviews. Susan Alpert.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist.
Yeah, I better
Doctor?
stay put.
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure.
She's German.
But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Yeah, the voice, the accent. That's a German woman. So it's not Susan Alpert, it's Susanne Alpert. All right, next one. Counselor Guidelines number 1. For debriefing after presentation 1.
Candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the Swarm, Addendum B1, and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures, Addenda C1, C2, C3, so that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crises team
are data corrupted. Okay. So I think presentation 1 was the one which Harris just gave in the other room. I'm quite certain. So what is this? Interview with Captain Okilo.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, US Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
No answer. Okay. Ooh, we can go through there. Let's do this in just a bit. Or maybe later. Let's just take a look at all of those. Interview Ron Felder.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
Medical. Security. Yeah. It's just, I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's still funny. Yeah, as you guys can see on the little radar, something is in the room. Something else that we can take a look at. This will come later. Interview Brad Andek.
Who previously worked for Faro Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work.
His work.
I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Yeah, that was the problem. No limits whatsoever. So, next one. Travis Tate interview.
Want to discuss?
Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bubble serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malkeet was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
I don't have anything to say about that. Interview with Tom Page. Once again, it seems German.
It is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people. They feed off them?
Not just people, all organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor. Please.
Tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off!
Doctor, please.
You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Right, where does this go? There's a way to the left and a way to the right. There are different ways. Okay, let's go right first. It looks like this is going the same way. Wait, what? Oh, that's the... Oh, you can use the vent to surprise the attackers, probably. Ah, okay, yeah. Don't care about that. Alrighty. Let's go through the door. And there should... No, there should be something here. There's something up there. What is this? Interview Dr. Su Wei.
I think there is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things?
I know that there's already a lot to take in.
In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible. But it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family. They have joined Operation Enduring Victory already. It is for nothing? We will all die?
We're going to be able to answer some of these questions.
I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me.
You were brought here because of your skill set.
No, that can't be right. I am an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Gerhard Richter. What does that matter now?
Question. Alright, let's move on. That door is locked.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia.
Uh-huh.
Mother Nature as an AI. But that's
And she's
just the
black.
core of the system.
Okay.
She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose.
Apollo.
Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake.
Research Poseidon.
Each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn.
But how?
The construction of underground facilities to hold it all.
Hephaestus.
And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of
And
a fully
Hades.
automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll
But
learn
there's
how all
no
these
scion.
functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us.
That's
our
why they needed
world.
these specialists.
And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
Okay.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes, by a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
And Hephaestus, taking over Cyan. I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Yeah, we heard about Hephaestus before when we played through the Frozen Wilds. And yeah, and we've talked to Cyan. We made it that Cyan has regained her power. And yeah, we're talking to her now, every now and then. Okay, so we have to go back there, but first let's take a look at this. Go to Central Projects here in just a bit. Make your selection.
You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. First, participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week.
That's quite a lot. Too much for me.
And your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Second, indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely.
Yep, first, number 1 is like the carrot, and number 2 is the stick. So, yeah, okay.
You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released.
And that's the last point.
Number 3, medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions.
Yeah, so as soon as you're here, you are not going to leave whatsoever. Either you help, you die, or you will get confined and then die. So, yeah. Don't know if I want to live there, or if I would rather die, to be honest. Although, nah. People, or mankind, is about survival, so I would try to survive, definitely. And on we go. Counselor Guidelines number 2. For debriefing of the presentation 2, which we just saw by Elizabeth Sobek.
It is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill sets and accomplishments.
Wait, is that not true? Are you lying from the start?
Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chances of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans and those of loved ones beyond 0 day. Validate their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish and allow access to supplemental articles G01 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent when the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against her or his will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision, after which the decision...
Data corrupted. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're trying to keep people calm. Definitely. Interview 2, Brett Andek.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that well, I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. It's just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
Interview 2 with Ron Felder.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. This kind of blue skying, it's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
You mean die?
That's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What are you? You don't. Get your hands off me!
Yeah, you're not gonna leave, but you're not gonna leave, buddy. And Susanne Alpert, once again.
If you're still nauseous. No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You'd grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not.
No.
All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized.
Awesome.
A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
True.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
Understandably.
Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
And that was the end of that. Ay.